Pitbull Combat Jiu-Jitsu. My name is Calvin Metz. This is Josh Phillips. And what it is a very basic, simple, easy, not so easy, but it's not got a lot to do. It's not real in-depth as far as martial art. There's the main parts to it is feinting, stop hitting, and then of course you got your grappling, basic boxing, and wrestling. And that's pretty much the whole system of what it's about. It's not anything like any traditional martial art that you've ever seen before. Hope you enjoy it. Thank you. Okay, the first section of this video tape we're going to go over, of course, is falls. You got to be able to fall because there is a lot of throws, sweeps, reaps, and leg blocks in the system. And what we're going to do is the basic two falls, which is the back fall first, and we're going to do it from a squatting position. This is the most safest place to be. Go ahead, Josh, do a few of them. Crossing the arms, falling back, never touching your head on the mat. You never touch your head on the mat. Okay. Put yourself into a semi-sphere as you fall. Once you feel comfortable with that, you stand up, put one leg in front of the other, and collapse it, fall backwards, and do the same fall. Put one leg behind, collapse it, and fall. It's a very simple fall, but it's the first basic stage of the back fall. Okay, the next one is the side fall. You'll also do that squatting. Okay? Notice putting his hand, one hand on the hip, and the other hand is crossing the face so he gets a good slap on the mat. Slapping with the hold arm, relaxing, the head still does not touch the mat. Standing, same thing. Okay, that's good. Just practice them till you feel comfortable, and that is your first phase of falling. Okay, the next section of the video, what we're going to do is go over the strikes that primarily that we use in Pitbull Combat Jiu-Jitsu. First thing, anything that you can find that works for you, use it. These are basic kicks, stuff like that. Now when we get to the punching part, like the hand techniques, the elbow techniques, stuff like that, we're going to teach them during the technique because they're easier to learn. Now the kicks are a little different story, so we're going to show you them and then kind of give you a brief description on how they are used. As far as combat is concerned, there's two phases of combat. There's the first phase, or the initial stage, when you are being attacked. You're standing face to face with the attacker. You might have guys on the side and back, whatever, but that is your first phase. If you can get that guy out, then that's fine on the first phase. But if you fail to take your attacker out on the first phase, we go to what I call the second phase, and that's what we call a dog fight. That's what Pitbull Jiu-Jitsu is all about. Your traditional type blocks and stuff like that will work in your first phase self-defense. It does not work good for a second phase, especially if you're fighting a skilled fighter. Alright, the first kick that we're going to go over is it's a front snap kick. And basically, not only are you learning a front snap kick, but you're learning a basic self-defense technique in itself. You have a man standing in front of you. You want to try to get your front snap kick up good and use all three principles that are involved in the front snap kick. Okay, first I'm going to have Josh do a few with his right leg, fast. Okay, again. Okay, now stopping. The first thing that you want to do is your chamber in the leg, that knee's pointing to your target. Then you do the explosion, or the kick itself. And then the recovery is very important for two reasons. One, so you can get your balance good, so he can't grab your leg, and then back down. So that's basically it. You're kicking the guy in the groin or the knee, whatever target that you choose. Them two are being the best. That is the front snap kick. Turn to the side, one side or the other. Okay, give me a couple slow. And notice as he's kicking, he's bringing his guard up just in case the attacker wants to try to swing at that time. One more. Okay, good. All right, the second kick. I'll face the camera again. The second kick is the side snap kick. This is basically, you're learning to kick, and at the same time you should be visualizing an attacker. This one will be from the side. You know, guy standing right here. You might have a guy in front of you, but at a distance. Use your imagination. But this is basically what you're using it for. Okay, well, you'd be using the right leg. Do a couple fast. Begin. Okay, it's just a snap. It's a side kick with a snap. There is no hip. It's meant to be fast and efficient. Okay, do a couple slow. Bring the knee up, kicking out, bringing it back. All three principles have to be used in all the kicks. Okay, good. That's the side snap kick. The next one is the back kick. It's the same thing. You have a man to the rear. Back kick, turning this way. Do a few of them quickly. Okay, and slow. Bring the knee up, straight back to the heel, come back and down. One more time. Up. Making sure you're looking where you're kicking. Back and down. All right. The next kick that we're going to be going over is the side thrust kick. This is your power kick. The side snap kick is for speed. This one is for damaging. This is for destroying your attacker's leg or whatever it is that you're hitting. Okay, a couple quick. Okay, and slow it down. Okay. So note the last minute, the hip should go into it. Bang. Driving down with your body weight and your hips thrusting into the kick. Notice how the hips is turned. This cheek here should be facing your attacker. The side kick. The back kick, both cheeks should be facing your attacker. That's one of the differences. Okay, one more. Okay, good. All right, the next kick that we're going to go over is the #1 knee kick, what we call it. Okay, this is an easy, basic self-defense technique. First, we're going to have him demonstrate the #1 knee a couple times, and then we're going to show you the application on how we use it. Okay, using your right knee, go ahead and begin. Okay. Noticing that he's on the balls of his feet. He should be springing on the ball of his feet. And what he's doing with his hands is he's praying a right cross. Okay, showing this. Okay, getting a left lead. Okay, throwing a right cross, you take a step forward, slapping the hands down, and driving the knee into the body. That is what it is that you're doing. So this is one of your first basic punching self-defense techniques. Instead of using one hand to block, keeping your hands up as you step forward, and knee. Very, very effective. Making sure that knee is straight. Straight in, you're on the balls of your feet for spring, driving it straight forward. Using your hips. That's the #1 knee. Practice that one. That's going to be one of your big guns. Okay? The next one is the tie round kick. You use this. All these are our back leg kicks. Okay? Give us a few demonstrations. Okay? As you notice, he's going all the way through the center line. What we want to hit with is the shin. I'll show you the parts of the shin that we want to hit with in a moment. Okay? Now this variation of the tie round is when you follow all the way through. And the only time you want to do this is if you have your opponent hurt. Okay, let's give a follow through a couple of them. As you notice, he covers as he comes out. You either want to set this up real well, or your opponent needs to be hurt before you use it. Okay? Okay, stop. Okay, this is the part of the shin that you are wanting to hit with. From here to here. That is what you're wanting to hit with. The reasoning why we use it is if a person wanted to retreat while you're trying to kick him, at least you still get him with your instep. If you aim for the instep at first and the guy retreats, you might catch the end of your toes and hyperextend your foot. Not only that, you're not going to get as much pain out of your technique with the instep as the shin. The instep we use for the groin almost exclusively. The ball of their foot or the tip of the foot we'll use for some pressure points sometimes. And the ball of the foot, heel, and the shins, they're the big weapons. That's what we use a lot with our, because you have to remember you're going to have shoes on. This is, for today's society, hardly anybody goes barefooted anymore. Okay? So, okay, the next kick, the next section of kicks that we want to go through is the forward leg kicks. The forward leg front snap kick is the first one. You notice he's got he's kicking with the instep because it's the only place that's going is to the groin. That's the only place you want to go with this. Okay? You want to try to get to where we weapon first. You want to basically try to get that foot moving before anything else. Make it harder for your attacker to block. Okay? One of the things that you can use this for in fight stance is finting. That's something that you're going to hear time and time again in this system. It's finting. This is a very good kick for finting. It's also a very good kick for somebody when their center is wide open. In other words, they're facing real wide, like a boxer or a wrestler or something like that. And if they don't, you can still use the kick. Somebody in the side stance to the knee, but it makes a real good fint. That's one of the big things we use this for anything else. You have a backhand finger flick. It comes up like you're doing a front kick. That'll automatically get his attention there, and then you do a backhand finger flick to the eyes or a punch. Several different ways. The combinations are immense. Okay, the next kick that you're going to do is the forward leg roundhouse kick, forward leg round kick. Okay? Turn aside, kick that direction. Notice he's not chambering the leg very much. It's basically the natural bend of the leg from his fighting stance is coming up. What we're doing there, what that is for, and how we do this, you'll understand it as the next kick comes around. Basically, if we're in the same lead, both of us in a right lead. Another thing in Pitbull Jiu-Jitsu, what you want to do is you want to stay in your power lead. You do not switch stances for nobody. You stay in your power lead. And the only time you switch to the left lead is if one of your digits, one of your forward leg weapons, your forward arm or your leg has got injured, that then you might retract and use the left lead as a backup. We do practice the left lead, but that's basically all it is. It's like a spare tire, you might say. But that's what it's for. It's just going to the groin, and that sets up everything else. All the other power stuff that you want to do. Getting the hands down. It can be as a fint, the same thing. And you attack with your hand weapons or any other technique. Okay? The next kick is the forward leg twisting kick. Okay? Very slowly. Comes up and it's like an inverted round kick or a twisting kick. Okay? Good. All right. Now, getting a left lead. Face me. Okay, this is what this is for. If you just remember, the last kick that we did the forward leg round kick. That's for somebody that's in your same lead. Now we have somebody that's in a left lead. We don't want to change our stance. So this is the kick we'll use for basically the same purpose. It comes up, kicks to the groin. Straight there. Okay? That's all you're doing. Comes up, in, and back. That's all you're doing. It's very snappy, because it don't take much to hurt the groin, but that gets everything else that you want to do open, because the groin, no matter if you don't hit the groin, their attention will go down to that. Okay, the next one is the 45 side. Okay, slowly. Comes up, and it's your foot's in a 45. There is no, it's like a side snap kick, but you're still in a fighting stance so that you can follow up. A very fast kick. Slowly. So you notice the foot is in a 45 up. That's basically why we call it that. Okay? This kick is used for jamming. It's also used for attacking, but one of the big things other than striking like all the other kicks, we use this in a stop hit mode. You can use it against any type kick, or if the guy tries to throw a punch, noting that if you're out of their critical distance zone where they can't kick you, throw a kick, bring your foot up. He can't kick me from this distance. The only way that he can kick is take a step forward. If he tries to throw a punch, he has to take a step forward to throw that punch. This is a drill that you need to work on. Let's say he's going to throw a left jab. That's one of the first things that you really want to try to practice this. You need to do it slow. What you want to do is, as soon as you see him move, you're 45 side and the knee out. Okay, that's considered a stop. Over here, bang, just like that. You're leaning back out of the way. Your hands is up, side to the knee. Use control, side to knee. Keeping your hands up. As you notice, I'm moving my head out of the way. Blocks will get you hurt. Best things to do, parry. Trapping is about the only kind of system of blocking we'll use in Pitbull Jiu-Jitsu. Second phase fighting, blocks don't work very well. Okay, so that's the 45 side. The next kick that we're going to go over is called the rabbit knee. And basically what this is a finishing technique. First we're going to have Josh demonstrate how it's done in the air one time. And there's a reason why I call it that. It's what basically you're just banging him with your knee. You got your hand around his neck and you're just banging him with your knee. Okay? All right, we'll go back and forth one time with this. Do one set of 5 each. Go ahead and go first. That's how you want to practice it with your partner. You just get your arms down there and he basically just, that's also a defense against the knee. Putting your arms down, hitting across the thigh. Okay? And you notice when Josh got into that, he did not go like this with both hands. It's easy for him to block, elbow, a lot of other techniques, headbutt, anything. So you always want to go one hand. So you have this hand to block, defend, then his hand, and then you squeeze it in, and then you go to your knees. 3, 4. Okay? You make sure your hip is driving forward. You're getting back nice and deep, driving it in. That is a finishing technique. You already have him. You don't want to go straight to that. You already have him hurt, and you want to finish him off. That's one good way of doing it. Just machine gun some knees in on him. Okay, the next kick is the shin kick. Okay? Slow and lower. Okay. Again. Okay, good. All right, the shin kick is also an attacking kick. It's like all other kicks, but it's also a stop hit kick too as well. We'll do this very slowly because this can be very painful. You need to have shin pads to practice this kind of stuff, but this is another drill that we do and you'll see in later tapes. But one of the best things this is for any rear leg kick. Rear leg front kick being the first one that you'll practice. Basically when you see the rear leg front kick coming, you stop it with a shin kick. Okay? Very, very painful to the attacker when you jam it through. The knee comes up and straight through and down. You're just like stomping on the leg. As soon as you see him move, that's when you have to react with that kick. Okay? Okay, the next part of the video we're going to go over is reference position trapping. Okay, this particular thing was borrowed from, of course, Bruce Lee's system, Jeet Kune Do being one of the best systems of blocking for the combat system that what Pitbull is all about. Okay, this is called a reference position. How you get there is several different things. It could be him throw a punch and I block, or I throw a punch and he blocks. That's how we got to that reference position, number one. Number two, we first start training from this because it's easier to do. I mean, your beginning students freak out when they have punches thrown at them at first, so this is an easy, basic way of doing this. I'm going to demonstrate this a few times. There's 3 elements to this first one, which is a push trap, and punch over the arm. That's basically what I'm doing. Okay? And your attacker should always try to block. Okay? What I'm doing is I'm shuffling forward, exploding off the back foot in. I'm trapping the arm around the elbow, and of course the punch being the last. Now you don't want to rear that punch back. It's just go straight in. Bam. Okay? And you never want to do this. Do not block this time. You never want to go like this. That is very, very bad. It teaches you to miss your attacker. Subconsciously, your targeting is off. It's better to use control. Don't block again. It's better to use control than it is to miss your partner. All I have to do is extend my punch, and I have the technique. Okay, let's just go back a couple times with it. Go ahead and go first. Okay. Okay, one more time. Okay, that's the first one. It's a push trap. Okay, the next one we're going to do is called pull to push. We're in this position. We're going to go here, shuffling in with a punch, and the same hand, we're going to trap, and we're going to throw a vertical elbow to the jaw. Vertical elbow being right upside the head, where your hand goes right upside your head, and it's like a cover at the same time. It's one of my favorite elbows for the simple reason, I'm going to forward this way a little bit. As I come here, and if I'm coming in to elbow, and he tries to throw a punch, I have covered myself to a certain extent. So that's one of the reasons why the vertical elbow is one of my more favorite elbows. Covers my head. Okay. Straight up. Same thing with the elbow. You never want to go like this. You never want to go like this. So basically, what you're doing is you're programming yourself to miss. You want to use control if you're going to do it. Go to your attack, go to your spot, and then stop. Use focus and control. Okay, let's go back and forth a couple times. Go ahead. Okay. Shuffle in while we're doing it. Okay, the last one that we're going to do is called a push trap to disengage. Basically, this will probably be one of the more advanced things that you'll do. We don't get real heavy duty into trapping because that's usually not how it works. Basically, you're going to throw a punch, get blocked, and you might have one more chance, then you're probably going to go to the ground in second phase, and it's going to be a grappling. That's usually how it works. Okay, first, as you come in, he blocks the punch, you're just going to disengage. This hand comes up, traps that arm against that arm, and you're going to throw a forearm or back knuckle to the temple. Okay? A little quicker. Basically what you're doing. You feel that block, you just go with it instead of fighting against it, and back fist. Okay? Back and forth a couple times. Go ahead first. Okay, that's your push trap disengagement. Okay, the next section of the video, now we're going to get into trapping against a jab. The first punch is being thrown at you. One thing that you need to have in your training is a lot of punches thrown at you. The more you get punches thrown at you, the more familiar with you are with that line familiarization. You'll hear that word a lot because that's basically what we want to try to get in every conceivable type of attack. You want to get used to and have it done to you time and time again, so that when it does happen to you, you will feel it'll feel unnatural for you to react in that way. Okay, the first one is the push trap pop sow over the arm, just like we did in reference position. Okay. Now the difference between this one and the other ones is what you're doing a little slower, but as he's coming back, so I've parried his arm and then draw it back in like a normal jab. I'm following him in. I'm just parrying the arm and following him and trapping the arm to the body. That's how it works. Okay, about half speed. I'm just following him in. The parry here, leave the arm out this time. I am parrying him to here, to my shoulder, and I'm moving my head slightly out of the way. Then he draws the hand in, I just follow it in and hit. That's basically what you want to try to get accomplished. Again, fast. That's all you're doing. And you just follow in, using different techniques. Okay, one more time. And you don't want to do this. You never want to get involved with bringing the hand out here and trying to squat the hand. Your hand is at your center. It just goes to the center, right to the punch. Even if you miss your parry, you're moving your head, remember. That's boxing, the part of the boxing that we use in it. We move our body instead of just keeping our body there and trying to block. You want to move your body and try to commit openings on your attacker. Okay, we're going to go back and forth with this a couple times. I'll go first. Go ahead. Okay, that's basically what it is, your first trap. The second one, these two next ones is more for a stiff arm attack. Somebody trying to knock your head off with that forward hand punch, which you'll get a lot of times. It can be with a snap too, but it works better for the guy that's trying to lunge at you and throw a punch, basically. Okay? Okay, stay there this time. Okay, this is what we're doing. Straight punch with the knuckles driving down into the ribs. You have nerves right there. You want to drive straight down, right up underneath the arm. I'm just parrying the arm to my outside shoulder, and my body weight is torqued into it. Again. Straight down. Driving straight in. Now I'm in a position to carry on my attack. Okay. Let's go back and forth a couple times. I'll go first. Okay, this is called a push trap under the arm. First one's push trap over the arm. This one's under the arm. The next one and last one that we're going to go over is push trap and going inside the arm. Now there's two variations that we'll use with this. Okay, so jab. You're just going straight to the face. You're just parrying the arm, moving your head, and punching to the face. You just basically let your attacker run right into your fist. Between the force of your fist going straight and your hip going in, and his momentum coming in will greatly enhance the power of that technique. Okay? Right there. Okay? Go back and forth with this a couple times. Okay? The next one is more of a hooking punch. This is somebody that puts their arm close to their center line. They're like this, and they got that center pretty covered. And you might just like this technique better. It does not matter which one, but basically all they're doing is to soften him up, loosen him up, make him lose his balance so you can sweep, reap, and throw this guy to the ground and get the fight over with. Okay? We'll go from this angle on this one. I'll give you more of an idea. I'm throwing a hook right into the jaw. Could be into the neck. Okay? Okay? Parrying the punch and hitting right into the jaw, underneath the ear, and the neck area. Okay? Go back and forth that a couple times. Any place like that. But basically, the thing that you want to try not to do with your hand strikes, I was basically going to explain them as we went along. Anytime you do hand strikes, you try not to, do not draw your arm back to punch. Just hit him straight from where your guard is. Make it fast. Okay? Your hip. That's how you get your power into that punch. Okay?